It's that time of the year for me to make some pillows. So I'm gonna start off by cutting out 20 10-inch squares. I don't know what happened to the audio. I believe I'm saying I'm going to trace the alphabets on the heating bond. And when I trace the alphabets on the heating bond, I have to turn the paper over. So you got to trace it in reverse. I can see it better if I trace it on the table instead of on top of this cutting mat. I messed up on the yellow. I thought about just stitching down this side of the seam, but I think I'm just going to redo the yellow. Now I'm going to take off the paper backing and then I use the iron because on the back is glue. Use the iron it down so the glue can melt, and then I will use black thread and a zigzag stitch to tack it down. After I pulled the paper off the back of the S, I realized that I put it on the wrong side, which is still fine. I think it probably still look good with it on this side. And also, shoot, the same thing with the H. And I pulled the paper off the back. Now I have to add the borders around the tenant squares. This particular group of students will get red around the borders. We'll get red for the borders. And I already completed the blues. Normally, I will pin this to some scrap batting and do the quilting. I usually choose up to like maybe 4 or 5 quilting designs. But this time, I'm going to try to do it on my long arm. I'm going to attach my leader cloth to some scrap batting and do it that way. I'm only able to do 2 at a time. with this scrap piece of batting, I was able to do 18 of these blocks, and I have 2 more to do. So I do these 2 on my sewing machine. It's been over a year since I last free motion quilted on this machine, and I could tell I could feel a big difference between quilting on this and the Little Rebel machine. Especially the throat space. And I think like the bed, this is called the bed. Well, this sits lower than the Little Rebel machine, and my just doing this little bit of stuff had my back hurting. And I felt a little rusty doing this part. I'm glad this is the last one I have to quilt on this machine because of my back. And I switched the design because the previous one was a little intense since I'm not used to using this machine. Well, since it's been a while. These are between 13 and a half and 13 to 6/8. So I cut a 14-inch square, and I will use like I will use what I trimmed off as stuffing. And then I'll pin it right sides facing. Let's see. My pin fell out. Oh, here it is. So I'll start right here and go around and start right there and leave it open so I can stuff it. Oh, I don't have any thread. All the pillows are stuffed. Now I'm going to hand stitch the open and close. I put a guideline to help me make sure that my stitches are straight.
All right, go to your seats. We don't have practice today. It's tomorrow. Did I say 1:30 tomorrow? I think it's 1:30. Go on in. Go to your seats.
I know.
So they won't get their face.